welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew, hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OSC as we've returned. We've returned here with the second half of the broadcast. The second half here of Fire Grow Cup number 9, the group stage. For those that are curious, this is a monthly tournament, and usually we cast it live. Usually we are live casting this event. As some people have taken note in the chat, this is a replay cast, as this event was actually coinciding and overlapping with the Hispanic StarCraft League. Last weekend we were busy casting the Hispanic StarCraft League. We were focusing on another event, on another cast. As a result, we weren't able, we can't cast 2 events at once. So I would love to, but we weren't able to, so we're catching up on last week's tournament, on last week's Fire Grow Cup. Let's go. Let us go again. Shout out to MiddleVK for hosting this event, for making this event a reality, and we have our second half of the broadcast here. We're jumping into another TvZ. We just featured Nicoract versus Wayne. Now we are here to feature some of the other players in this group. Nicoract and Nikich. We featured Nikich earlier in the broadcast in a series up against Strange. It was a very strange one, very intense, very back and forth. But now we have our fresh best of 3, jumping into game 1, jumping into Ultra Love. Let's go. Jumping into Ultra Love. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we are this again. Goddamn. God damn it. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our red Terran player for the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player from Atlanta, Belarus, representing Alien Esports. It is Nikich. We have Nico up against Nico. Let's go. God damn it. Aye. There's a lot of Nikos out there. A lot of them. As we are going to be settling in. So far, so good. Now, I'm sure we're going to be seeing a very different kind of dynamic this time. We had Milky Cow with some very unorthodox builds and unorthodox playstyles. We should be seeing something more standard when it comes to the openers, and already 2-Rax Reaper. 2-Rax Reaper out of Nicoract, setting up on the low ground. Now, Nicoract is very aggressive and very assertive in this matchup. We see a lot of 2 base all-ins and 3 base all-ins in TvZ from the side of Nicoract, and he can be quite successful with it as well. You can know that aggression is coming your way and still have a hard time defending against it. So far, 2-Rax Reaper. This is not an all-in, but this is an aggressive start. Now, this is designed to contain the Zerg player, to punish the third, and to take an economic lead as a result. Maybe pick off some Lings, maybe pick off some, maybe Lings more than anything. We shouldn't be getting any worker damage, we shouldn't be getting any queens. This is just to delay the economy of the Zerg, and this leads into a 2-on-1. Typically, there are different variations. I mean, Beyond, he did explore this a lot 2 years ago when he did popularize this build. This can lead into 3-Rax Reaper, this can lead into 4-Rax stim timings, 3-1-1s, 2-1-1s, 3cc 2-1-1. There's a lot of variations here when it comes to said follow-up. For now, the Overlord does confirm 2 Raxes. Now, it's going to be on Nikich here to confirm whether or not there's a 3rd Rax as well in the main. This could be 3-Rax Reaper for all he knows. This could be more committed, as Reapers are now moving out. There it is. There's that CC on the natural, on location. Reapers a fan out, and Nikich so far is going to be contained on 2 bases. He does stay in gas. Oh, big sign, big tell here for Nikich. He does stay in gas. Now, if he stays in gas, to me at least, this screams Bane Bust. There are ways, I know that Shin, he popularized, oh, never mind, the other one. Not a Bane Bust, a Roach Rush. Now, this is designed to not just defend, but remember, as I mentioned before, 2-Rax Reaper contains and denies the 3rd. So Nikich, he's saying, hey, if I'm going to be stuck on 2 bases anyway, let's turn this into 2-base aggression, into borderline 2-base all in here. So Nikich, he's rushing into Roaches. It's going to be on Nicoract to confirm what's going on. Right now, he's successfully delaying, but oh, that is a 3rd CC before anything else. So 3cc 2-on-1. Very greedy build. That means the factory is delayed, the starport is delayed, and that means that these Roaches have even more potential for damage. Link speed is almost done. Nicoract, you can see, he's checking for the 3rd base. He has not gone into the main yet. He doesn't know what's happening. Not yet. Queens are keeping up. Queens are zoning. The Queens, they take a lot of hits, they take a lot of damage. Roach production has begun. And again, Nikich, he can just flood Lings behind this. It's all or nothing, and Nicoract, he has no idea what's going on, and now he's getting into stim, marine production, no bunker, factory still on the way, so no Hellions, no Cyclones, no tanks, no Banshees, no nothing. Again, this is lining up. This is best case scenario for Nikich. And the Reapers don't even see this coming. He doesn't see the roaches. Nicoract, he raced back home to avoid the lings, and that means Nicoract, he sees nothing. Sees nothing else of what's going on. Now Nikich, he does expand and he is droning behind this, but honestly, Nikich, he could just keep making lings and he could just end the game here. He could just end the game. We'll see. Now that he's pivoting away, now that he's deviating away from this, is he going to have enough to break through? Bunkers being thrown down reactively. No Ravagers. Just two now morphing in. One Roach does fall. Miles will zone away. So far, we aren't really getting much done here. The wall is solid. Roaches are going down. Nicoract, he's holding on. And Nicoract is holding. This is actually reminding me a lot of Wayne versus Milky Cow. I mentioned at the time where Wayne, he was very indecisive when it came to how aggressive he wanted to be. It's similar here as well. Like, if Nikich, if he committed to a 2-base all-in, like, I feel like he could have killed Nicoract. But again, he's droning, he's expanding, he's pivoting away from this, he's working on a later game state, and now Nicoract is in a very strong position. Now Nicoract, he defends, Stim is almost done, he gets away with a third CC, he gets away with the late factory, with late starport. Nicoract is in a beautiful position, and suddenly Nikich is hurting. Suddenly Nikich, things are looking rough here, things looking dire. His workers are late, his third base is late, he's now working towards a lair, now taking gases. It's going to be a rough road to travel here for Nikich. Not going to be easy, not impossible, but yeah, it's going to be a tough road nonetheless. From here, Nicoract, he does hold, he does survive. Reapers, they poke in. They get eyes on the follow-up, and it looks like they will. Yeah, they do confirm the third. That's all he needed to know. So far, lack of saturation, but there are still a couple of drones on the way. Double Evo chamber for upgrades tells us that Nikich most likely is just going to drone. He's just going to drone, just going to saturate. Nicoract just has a turtle up back at home. Stim is done, getting into combat shields. And now Nikich, he does get eyes on the third. So Nikich is turning this into a 2-base all-in. He is saturating his natural, yes, but he does not saturate the third base. Once again, we do see Nikich commit into a second round or a second all-in. But he did stumble his way here. He gets supply blocked. Again, Nikich, he can still pull this off. I do think that committing to an all-in is the correct call, just because it's been a really rough start. Scan reveals lack of saturation, but now Nikich is droning. So Nikich is not too confident in this. He's pivoting away. He is now droning up. Now he does force Nicoract to evacuate. Nicoract, he believes it's an all-in, and it was, but now it's not. Right now, Nikich, he drones, he saturates, infestation is on the way. Because this Nicoract, he does overreact. So this is doing some damage in a sense. As you can see, Jesus, Nicoract, he's heavily oversaturated. He's waiting for the all-in, an all-in that is no longer coming. Double drop into the main. Oh, true, the Mind Games. As Marines, they bust into the main base, they're going for the spawning pool. Miles, they will connect, but the spawning pool does get picked off. Massive pickoff here. Nice catch here from Nicoract. Likewise, he can also try to poke in and try to get eyes on the saturation. Yep, sees a gas geyser. Yep, scans. He sees full saturation at the third. He's like, hold up, what the hell just happened? What's going on? And now he knows he can freely saturate his third and now push out. Now he does known as hold up. You just invested into workers. That means your army should be lacking, and it is. The army here for Nikich is quite small. Nicoract, he stims in. Does him forward. We have more Ravagers on the way. Ravagers are being targeted down one after the other. Tank shots going off. Tanks, they survive. And Nikich is going to try to hold on here. It's not going to be easy. He does have 14 more roaches on the way. With those 14 roaches, he should be able to hold on. I say that there's still 4 tanks, though. the tank and this brutal army stims in, does focus on the Ravagers one after the other. There's 2 Ravagers left. Bit of an overextension there from Nicoract, but he's still pushing forward. Still trying to gain more ground. Get only 2 Ravagers. Yeah, fighting within range of the tanks. Oh my god, the Roaches, they just get annihilated. And Nicoract, he's done it. He just snowballs out of control from here. Again, Nikich, time and time again, his just droning was so heavily delayed. Attempted all-ins were failed. GG gets called, and Nicoract will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. He will take a lead in the series, and we'll see if Nikich can recover and bounce back as I load into game number 2. Let's go. And again, like Nikich, it did feel like he was just very indecisive when it came to how he wanted to approach things. I do believe that there was a big opportunity for him at the start of the game, though, to commit into a Roach Ravager Ling all-in. But again, he did pivot away from it. He did decide to drone, and I feel like he missed his opportunity. And from there, things very quickly snowballed out of hand and out of control in favor of Nicoract. Here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Frostline. We have our red Terran player, the red Terran himself, representing the Platinum Heroes, leading the series 1-0. It is Nicoract. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Zerg player from the land of Belarus, representing Alien Esports, down in the series. We'll see if he can recover. It is Nikich. We go. Some players are building up. This time Nicoract setting up on the high ground. This time there is no 2-Rax Reaper. This time a much more standard opener instead. Going for a Rax expand. Going for a Rax expand. Likewise, Hatchgas pull out of Nikich. This time Nikich, he should have a much more comfortable start. He's not going to be as tempted to commit into roaches and to counterattack or anything crazy like that. Should be able to calm down. Should be able to calm down and settle in. This is a CC on location. Whew. And in a more comfortable game state, we'll see how Nikich can compare. Now, once again, just winding it back, I was talking earlier at the start of the series how Nicoract is very aggressive in this matchup. I do stand by that. We kind of saw that in the last game. But Nicoract, he does often go for like very strong 2-base timings, 3-base timings. Like that is what he is known for. In saying that, Frostline is a much larger map in the map pool, so these kind of timing attacks and these pushes are weaker on a larger map like Frostline. So we'll see if Nicoract can bring this all together and still pull this off. We'll see if he does take a different approach. Likewise, we'll see if Nikich can be more comfortable and look more dominant here, or just have a cleaner early to mid game now that we do enter a larger map like Frostline. We'll see. Nicoract, he does dance with the army. Getting 1 link so far, nothing major. He does pull away. Just poking, prodding, looking for a tumor. Being so annoying. He wants that tumor. Oh, tumor gets thrown down. Now we have a second queen. Oh, he wants it. Oh, 1 more shot. He will not get it when he gets punished for it. Yeah, a little bit too greedy there from Nicoract. He wanted that tumor. Alas, he gets punished. He gets denied. And it is tempting as a Zerg player to, like, okay, you snipe the Reaper, throw it in a Roach Horn, like, right, like throw it in a Roach Horn, make Ravagers, just send it across the map. But we drone. Nikich, he's droning, he's saturating, we're calming down, we're settling in. Ooh, speaking of calming down, 1-1-1, no third CC. We spoke earlier, I mean, I did mention at the start of the series and even the start of this game how Nicoract, he's very fond of aggressive builds, and this is one of them. 111 into BC. Now, the goal here is not to go for a BC for economic damage. Typically, the way that Nicoract does this is that he builds up his Hellions, and his goal is to dive on the queens. And if he's able to reset the queen count, then the BC will kill everything. So the goal here is to kill the queens, is to break the main army, is to just brute force the issue here, and break Nikich. It's a very devastating kind of build, and it can get out of hand. Not many other players do this, but it is a bit of a signature move for Nicoract. So BC Hellion. This does go into bio, by the way. This is not a mech composition or a mech build, but very, very aggressive though. And it's going to be very dedicated. So mass Hellion BC. First BC's on the way. We have a Roach Horn in production for Nikich. Now, Nikich, I'm sure he's familiar with this build, but he hasn't scattered yet. He has not seen anything as the Overlord got sniped earlier, so Nikich is in the dark. He's playing blind. And Nicoract, he's getting ready. He's gearing up as that first battlecruiser is halfway done. Now, how many queens? 7. Decent queen count if they all come together. That's the thing, right? Like right now we have queens in each base is injecting. If they all come together, then we can pull off a defense. Second starport, 2-port BC. Okay, I was not quite expecting that. As we said, Lynn, yo, a big shout out to Gemini GGE Mini in the chat. God, my God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great, I almost said ladder session. Hope you had a great cast. I knew you were covering the all things Proto Steam League. Here comes the BC. Here comes a dive. Yeah, BC on top of the queens. First 2 queens get surrounded. No transfuse. 1 queen goes down. Second queen goes down. And Nicoract is snowballing out of control. Already 2 queens falling. We're down to 5 queens. 5 queens left. Roaches are waddling in. Once again, we're targeting down the queens. Down goes a 3rd queen. Oh my God. Yeah, workers, they do line up, getting 11 drone kills. Diving on another queen. That's going to be the 4th queen going down. And now the 5th. And where are the queens? They're all dead. They're all gone. As the final queens are getting picked up. Likewise, 12 drone kills. That's how many queens left. That's the final queen. 0 queens remaining. And Nicoract, he's done it. He has done it. He has broken the back of Nikich. Gets into the mineral line, 18 drone kills. The BC does reign supreme. Again, the goal of this build was to reset the queen count. He killed every single queen, and we're making 2 more behind this. Again, 2-port BC. He's an animal. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this, Pappy. Not like this. As Nikich, he has been broken. You can see he's desperately just moving out across the map, but again, he's going to run into defensive BCs, and nothing shoots up. Nothing does shoot up here. We have a Hydrogen on the way to help survive, help defend. I did mention how this is going to be bio, but I mean, for now, it's just purely BC Hellion. No other upgrades. Hellions have raised up more drones. 28 drone kills. Ay, ay, ay. Lings, they just cannot engage. Hellions have control here of the 3rd. And now they're diving into the natural as well. Again, there's barely an economy to begin with. Oh no, they're trapped. Oh no, they're trapped. They're locked in. 8 more drones. They line up. The barbecue is real. And remember, this isn't even Nicoract's final form, because what does he have? He has 3 battlecruisers back at home. Boys being pulled to repair. 14 workers go down. We have 40 workers remaining. And sure, we have a hydrogen. Sure, we have access to some anti-air, but here comes the BCs. Oh god, GG gets called. The teleport does not complete, and Nicoract, he will claim the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Nicoract, he will claim the series. Very, very aggressive play here from Nicoract. Again, this is what he's known for. And unfortunately, Nikich, he just was unprepared. He was not able to scout. As a reminder, the first Overlord was sniped, so he didn't get into the main base. He never saw the 111. He never saw the BCs coming his way. GG. GG, well played. With that, Nicoract, he will claim the series. And once again, a shout out to Gemini. Hope you enjoyed the All Things Protoss Team League cast. Were you covering the Gooners, Pappy? How did the Gooners do? And the cinque fromage? The 5 cheese? The 5 cheese. Let's go.